And that all died down, I think, right?
How's
That's
everything
good.
going with you? Okay.
Wish it was a week from now.
I bet you do.
Ready to put this to bed.
Yeah. It's a long one, huh?
This portion anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't have, when I first ran, I didn't have a primary. So, coasted through the first part.
Yeah. I hope you are successful. I hope you win.
Oh, you're kidding.
Am I here for citizens to be heard? I'm kidding.
There's a whole story that goes with it. Maybe we'll get into it sometime.
It's a full board of the beautiful
Hi.
people. Hello, how are you, Cheryl?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see everyone.
Mr. Zimmer returns from the land of alligators.
Yep.
Wow.
Gator Alley.
Can we get a picture actually before we leave? We need a good picture for the website. Why is everyone laughing at me? I'm like, I mean every
laughing- yeah,
word
we're
I
laughing
said.
at
Blake, how are you? I just saw you. How are you?
We are allowed to talk.
Nope. How's everything going, everyone?
Good.
Good.
How about you?
Everything's good.
Fantastic.
Good.
I'm overdoing it a little to compensate.
He has his own table.
Yeah.
You should go with him sometime.
Oh, really?
Know him, they know what he's gonna eat, they know
Oh, my
what he's
gosh.
Oh, really?
A regular.
I've been
That's
there once
great.
or twice.
a week.
Big fan of Buffalo Wild Wings for sure.
Yeah.
How was your week? Have you been out of town?
Plus he's a big Cleveland fan, so that makes. What's that? Cornell's a big Cleveland fan.
Wednesday. It was on Wednesday.
Yeah, hugely. You went to Ohio State too.
So. That was before that. Okay, okay. Well, City is
So amazing.
I love Nashville.
So amazing.
Oh, my goodness. They've got it together. I love their little things that you can kind of jump on. Riders.
Most cities are.
I know. We're a little out. We're only a little behind the eight ball, but I can just imagine the Gateway District. Jump on, put it back on.
Hey,
It is.
yep. I'm not a big traveler, but that's the one place I've not been to that I would
Oh,
like to go
you have to go.
That's the one place I would
It's
like to go.
fantastic. Have you been to Nashville, Dan?
Oh, yeah.
You ever get a
I
chance
would like to
go?
go.
I hear that.
It is fantastic there. I love it.
Yep. One of these days.
And the music is
the
just
Browns.
streaming
Oh, the music.
out of every.
Two
like,
four
you go down the street,
247.
And it's 3 floors or 4 floors.
Oh, really?
Every,
Yeah.
in a bit different band.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Beginning at like 9 a.m. And you're drinking
Yeah. All day.
all day.
Yep. I always
It's a
say
lot of fun.
you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning, right? So. Yeah. We ready? Okay, let's go ahead and call the Millcreek Township General Authority meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any public comments on any of the agenda items? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from April 9th of 2025. 8th, I'm sorry, did I say April 9th? Yeah, my eyes aren't that great anymore. April 8th, excuse me. Accept a
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the
motion by
April
Ms.
meeting.
Mitchell and seconded by Mr. Wardy. We'll go ahead and vote. Ms.
Yes.
Baird? Mr. Wardy?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Those minutes are approved. Okay, we'll go to our treasurer, Ms. Page, approval of bills.
Yes, you'll just see that we had 4 bills this month. Insurance, Altair, McDonald Illig, and Penelec.
Okay, just typical operating bills. Okay, do we have a motion to approve those bills?
I'll make the motion.
So moved by Mr. Wardy,
I'll second the
second
motion.
by Ms. Mitchell. And we'll go ahead and vote. Ms. Clear,
Yes.
Mr. Wardy,
Yes.
Mr. Olet,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Okay, so our regular operating bills are approved, and then we have 2 special presentations of bills. The demolition project Phase 2, pay application number 1, which I believe is the Bel Air. Mr. Waldinger, any comment?
Yes, you are correct. It is the Bel Air. Phase 2 is the Bel Air. The contractor for that project, Empire Excavation and Demolition, contacted me because they would like a partial payment for work that has been completed. We had a discussion and we came to the agreement that they are what we would consider at least 75% complete. And so they've submitted a pay application for 75% of the fee. The total contract price was $238,985. Their pay application number 1 for 75% of that amount is $179,240. And so at this time, I would recommend paying Empire invoice number 1083 in that amount.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Approve pay estimate number 1.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, moved by Mr. Olet and second by Ms. Mitchell. We'll go ahead and vote. Ms. Clear,
Yes.
Mr. Wardy,
Yes.
Mr. Olet,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So project Phase 2 pay estimate number 1 is approved, and we have one more.
Second is for demolition project Phase 3. This is pay application number 1. The project itself is complete, the demolition is complete, and everything has been seeded, but the the authority is retaining 10% of the total fee to ensure that grass is established as required under our NPDES permit. And so the total contract price for this job was $19,000. We are retaining $1,900 to ensure grass growing. And so the total for this invoice is $17,100, and I would recommend approval of invoice number 2024-00270 in that amount.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Wardy. We have a second.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Mitchell. Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. If there's no other discussion or questions, Ms. Clear,
Yes.
Mr. Wardy,
Yes.
Mr. Olet,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So Phase 3, pay estimate 1 is approved. Moving on to agenda item number 6, demolition project Phase 2. Mr. Waldinger.
Yes, I would like to ask the board to authorize me as executive director to sign the 90% release payment for the Phase 2 demolition at the time of completion, once they are satisfactorily complete. That is scheduled to be done by May 31st of this year. Will kind of fall directly in between 2 of the board meetings. And obviously, I would ensure that everything was complete, all the pavement was removed, and everything was seeded as according to our contract. But if the board is so inclined to authorize me to go ahead and release that payment once that work is done, that would eliminate the contractor having to wait for a meeting schedule.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion
If I
by Ms.
could-
Mitchell. Go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's
but,
okay.
Mr. Waldinger, do you know what the amount of that would be? And that would be 90% of the total as opposed to 90% of what's left, correct?
Yes, correct. That would be, I don't have that full figure. It was in the neighborhood about $30,000.
That 15, it'd be 15% of whatever the contract price was,
Correct, yes. Yep,
which was,
so-
what was it, 235?
Yeah, it is in the neighborhood of 35,000. I could do the math real quick. I just want to make sure there's a number.
Sure.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. That would be $35,848.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and we have a second. We'll go ahead and vote unless there's additional questions or discussion. Okay, Ms. Clear,
Yes.
Mr. Wardy,
Yes.
Mr. Olet,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. And that item is approved as well.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Can I just verify information I guess I already know, but Mr. Waldinger, these funds are then the land bank then?
Yes, once these payments
Oh.
are made, then I can submit the invoice as well as our check to the land bank for reimbursement.
For
Of the
reimbursement,
full
sorry.
amount.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. Just wanted that statement in the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 7, communication. Treasurer's communications.
I
Anything?
don't have anything further today.
Okay. Executive Director Communications, Mr. Waldinger.
Yes, just briefly touching on stuff that we mostly have covered. First, as everyone knows, the RFQ process is ongoing, and Amy Murdoch is here and will probably give us an update on that during her consultant communications. And then second, the demolition update, just to, as Ms. Clear mentioned, get it all in the record. Phase 2, which is the Bel Air, all structures have now been demolished. The contractor is separating materials for salvage and reuse. The foundation removal has commenced and will continue until all foundations and footers have been removed. The asphalt will then be removed and the property will be graded and seeded. That work is by contract supposed to be done by May 31st of this year. So hopefully most of the site will be cleaned up by Memorial Day. By the Memorial Day weekend, those piles of rubble should be gone. May not be completely graded out, but at least will be cleared. And then the Phase 3 project, which was the grasshopper, that was completed by the contractor in 2 days. Grass has been planted, and we will monitor that to ensure the growth will meet the requirements of our National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. That's the NPDES permit that I mentioned before. And then, again, as Ms. Clear had me state in the record, all of the payments for these will be submitted to the land bank for then reimbursement for the demolition costs.
Excellent. Okay, any questions on Mr. Waldinger's report?
No.
Okay. Moving on to solicitor communications. Anything, Mr. Shaw?
No, nothing
No. Okay, thank you. And consultant communications, Ms. Murdoch. You're kind of, I think, the star of the show for communications. So.
I'll be maybe a little more brief than my friend Chuck Peters. As Matt mentioned, really our focus for this month has been marketing the request for qualifications, or RFQ. We've put a total of 4 mass mailings out to a proprietary list that we have. We've also posted on the International Economic Development Council website, in addition to the Urban Land Institute website. For those of you that don't know, those are both professional organization kind of affiliations and networks that really target developers that look for projects like this, that are really economic development projects that advance, that really focus on mixed use and residential retail. So far, happy to report that we've had 7 respondents register their interest in responding to the RFQ. And it does close on May 15th. So we have just a couple of days after today. After that timeline closes, we'll of course confer with the board on next steps from there. But in general, the concept with the RFQ is to invite developers to respond, to give the authority an opportunity to review respondents who are qualified, and then invite qualified respondents to then submit a full proposal. That's all I have to report, but happy to answer any questions.
Now, of the 7, how many are local, or how many are outside of here?
And a couple, there's at least 2 that are local off
Okay.
the top of my head. Yeah. So it's a nice mix of local, regional, and national interests that we've had back so far.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Amy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot briefer than Chuck, wasn't she?
It's succinct.
Yeah.
Okay, agenda item number 8, citizens to be heard. Anybody like to? Our most famous popular citizen.
I've been inspired by John. So Dennis McAndrew, longtime Millcreek Township citizen, make myself more important sounding. A few thoughts or questions for you. Because we've gotten so much grass, who pays to mow it?
So there is money in the authority budget for property maintenance. A lot of the budget in the last year or so was paying for utilities on some of the properties. Those are now gone. So it's a fraction of that cost to maintain the properties.
Do you have to contract the township to mow your property, or you have to get an independent?
There's been discussion of both. We haven't had to have it done yet this year, but we'll try and find the most cost-effective solution.
Just wondered. And another thought is originally, I could be wrong, but the original budget or funding to start the whole authority was like $5 million, I believe, correct? Seven? Okay, and a lot of it's been spent, and I know there's separate issues, but is any of the money reverting back to the township? Or you guys always, I mean, is there any end date for you? Are you gonna continue to try and do stuff? Or, I mean, to me, there seems like there should be a beginning, middle, and end to this authority. Or do you plan on expanding or doing other stuff?
I think, Dennis, when the authority was originally formed, it specifically identified a number of areas at which it could have authority over. And there are a number of areas under the statute under which it has authority. So it was a pretty broad description of the authority's ultimate powers. Certainly the initial focus was 8th Street and getting that moving along. But additionally, there were, stormwater was specifically called out as a possible avenue, and there may be projects in the future that the authority may be asked to take over and handle. Obviously, to the extent there are other areas or opportunities for redevelopment, the authority would be positioned from that perspective as well. So I don't know that the intent was that it was going to ultimately be a single-purpose authority, but that I think the thought process was to create it in a fashion that it could continue on and serve other purposes in a fashion that may be more efficient and more advantageous than the township doing it.
Because I attend a lot of the meetings, and even I myself sometimes am not quite sure exactly what we're all doing and what your goals are. And unfortunately, a lot of people are conflating what your goals are to develop and for business enhancement of the township to make it more effective and efficient, where, not to confuse the two issues, but everyone's thinking about the Parks and Rec thing. And I was wondering if there's any way that you may or may not be helping support that issue, cost and other things, or that's totally.
I think a good way, or hopefully it's not overly simplistic way to think of it, Dennis, is that, what the authority has done to date with the properties on West 8th Street. I think a good way to view that in what it actually is economic development. We're taking underutilized properties, getting them back onto the tax rolls, hopefully with more vibrant uses, including residential, tax income as well as business tax income. So the 8th Street Gateway investment is an economic development investment, where the community center, if it were to happen, would be more of a community development, where the township is providing amenities for its citizens, something that will attract people to want to live in Millcreek. The people that are here want to stay, just improving their quality of life. So, they're similar, but one is more economic driven and will, pay dividends in tax revenue, for decades to come, where the other one is an investment in the people and, the amenities that they're providing.
I mean, I myself follow and know a lot of it, but I kind of wanted some of this on, because I don't think a lot of other people do realize that there is a separation, and sometimes there is a tendency of blurring of lines, I think, and it doesn't help that, you also have township employees, the authority, some people don't, you may separate, but others may not.
Right.
Thanks.
Those are good questions. Thank you.
Those are
Appreciate
good
it.
questions and good answers, too.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no other citizens to be heard? I understand we have no need for an executive session. Does anybody have any need? No? If not-
Before we conclude, can I ask our consultant, you were too brief. Can you come back up really quickly? I know, it was great that you were, more succinct than Peter's, but that's really not saying much, right?
I'm not going to put that on the public record. Yeah.
I just want to get clarification. Have we had 7 people respond to the RFQ to date?
Yeah, no, thanks for that. So 7 people have registered their interest for responding to the RFQ. So we have a registration that says, yes, I'm interested. I want to receive any answers to questions
Right.
that have been asked. Yeah.
How does this, what were you expecting? You cast a wide net. What were you expecting in terms of, realistically, this is a large project. This is a project of scale.
Yeah.
Not everybody can jump into the fray here. What were you expecting in terms of how many people were going to respond to the RFQ?
Yeah, so I'm encouraged by that many folks that have taken the time to actually register, right? It is a really capital-intensive project, and there's a level of uncertainty now. I'm going to be quite honest about that. So I feel pretty good about that registration in terms of expressing interest, and there have been some questions that have been submitted, and I think some good healthy dialogue. I will say too, there is a recognition that Erie is up and coming, and that is we hear that a lot, and so what's happening in the downtown and the Bayfront, I think is giving folks a level of confidence. But I do want to it is a capital-intensive project, right? And so that's just something that we'll have to think about and continue to have some conversation over.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions, discussion, anything for the good of the order? If not, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
So moved by Ms. Clear, second by Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Wardy?
Yes.
Mr. Olet? Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
I vote yes. We're officially adjourned. Thank you very much for your attention.